The Idol could have been great. The story about the rise and fall of a pop star suffering from mental breakdowns is a tragic one that we've seen time and time again, but I believe it fell short of its own massive potential. So in less than 10 minutes, I'm gonna fix the main character, rewrite the finale and how it should have ended, while drawing parallels to the real world that would have made every scene in The Idol stronger. HBO?
Sound nice, gang? Next.
While we're watching these clips, tell me, does she look happy?
Britney Spears.
How about now?
Phenomenally successful, and you have yet to enter your senior year of high school. That's a pretty big accomplishment for a little kid.
How about now?
I feel sorry for you. Is this what you go with? Absolutely not. Move!
And now?
Oh my god! She is completely flawed.
Britney Spears is one of the many true stories we've had of celebrities crushed by the pressures of the entertainment industry. She wasn't just some stranger who went crazy and shaved her head. We watched her grow up from a talented young mouseketeer to the 16-year-old who dropped a 7 times multi-platinum debut album. Then her struggles became monetized by the predatory paparazzi and turned into a spectacle for the rest of the world to consume like junk food. And it ruined her. With The Idol being about the life of a pop star, I expected it to follow a similar path of drama, but it never did. The biggest flaw of The Idol is that they continue to tell us who the characters are.
You're an icon, you're a legend.
Rather than showing us, and I know that sounds basic, but in this case it makes a big difference. Jocelyn is a renowned pop star, world famous, at least that's what we're led to believe. Her house is bigger than yours, her clothes are smaller than yours, and when she pulls up to the mall, she's mobbed by fans like Justin Bieber. Even the way Tedros praises her in the first episode is that of worship.
Is that Jocelyn? Hold on, is that Jocelyn on my dance floor?
That kind of reputation doesn't happen overnight. Surely she must have had some major hits as a family-friendly pop star, maybe won a couple of Kids' Choice Awards back in the day. I bet she got slimed on stage in front of thousands of people and liked it. Okay, I'm just being facetious here, but she's the one iced like a toaster strudel. We'll get to that scene later, by the way, hang tight. Perhaps she was even a child star who was too busy as a kid to ever live like one. Surely that would explain her trauma.
Mom?
But don't just tell us about it. Show us. In episode 1, they could have spent less time talking about titty contracts and introduced us to Jocelyn's innocent upbringing. You know that scene where they're all watching the dance routine from the second floor talking about her past? Keep most of it and give us a close-up of Xander, someone who has been with her since her childhood. And honestly, someone who should have gotten a lot more screen time in this show. Use him to help set the tone and how we should perceive Jocelyn. It could be as simple as a long close-up followed by like, I guess we're not in the Mickey Mouse Club anymore. That lets us shift with Xander, like we're watching the show from his point of view. It tells us that even one of her longtime yes man is having trouble recognizing her, foreshadowing a much bigger falling out with her core audience and the general public. Yes, there will be an alternate ending. I always thought that the show should just pick a direction. Is it about a cult infesting this girl's life? Or is it about the complexities and the downfall of a struggling superstar? I believe the latter would make a much more compelling show. And while we're talking about public opinions, this girl has absolutely no consequences. So let's fix that too. What does Jocelyn want more than anything in life? In interviews, Lily Rose Depp said that her character is basically on the fast lane to live like the rich and famous Hollywood crowd. I don't hate how she got back together with Tedros, but she ruined this man's life. He lost his club, his own reputation, and the people he considered his family because of her. In order for the finale to work, she still needs to establish control over him. So the scene where she kisses him in the dressing room, that's when she should tell him to sit down, roll over, and be a good boy. Plot twist time. Imagine when she brings Tedros out on stage with her. Everybody recognizes him from the hit piece articles and the crowd erupts into boos and chants of pedo lover. Now there's an interesting established hierarchy in the final hours. Tedros serves Jocelyn, but Jocelyn still has to kneel to the heart of the industry that she's overlooked the entire series. The fans. By taking the controversial route to obtain fame and attention quickly, she's pushed away the core audience that got her there in the first place. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And as they boo her, we get a shock reaction. And the scene is directly parallel to the pilot's opening photo shoot, from smiling and laughing, thinking she's been one step ahead, to eyes full of tears because she miscalculated. And as she breaks down on stage, we get flashbacks of the articles her team had published. Tedros is a woman beater. Tedros had a questionable relationship with a lovely young pianist who was only 17 years old at the time. Mauricio Jackson is a criminal. This is the first time she wasn't in control, and the season finale's bittersweet. The reason this works well is because we would finally get to see more of her past throughout the other episodes. Each episode should have some subtle pieces of her younger years. I mentioned Xander a few times, but Leia's a perfect candidate for the exposition as well. Hell, she's the only character that actually pulled away from the toxic situation. The note she left could just say, "You've changed." Joss would shrug it off and throw it away when she read it, but it would come back to haunt her 6 months later when the sea of fans take Leia's side. Now season 2 would be set up with Tedros crawling his way back from nothing again, but he would go from cult leader to Littlefinger type, trying to regain power from the shadows. Jocelyn's forced to fully embrace the controversial route while building a much different fan base, this time filled with a handful of probably perverts and incels. I'm sure that'll have its own consequences when she gets recognized in public now. Wait until she meets the grown man who made her Pop-Tart picture his phone's wallpaper for the last 7 months.
I mean, I feel like it could be a lot worse. Right?
100%.
Right.
And naturally, Chaim and Destiny will go on aggressive offense and defense and try to tame the absolute chaos. If they aren't already the fan favorites, trust me, they will be after these side quests. And if anybody out there wants to hear more of my season 2 ideas, let me know. I'll record that next. I love talking about it. When you see real life entertainers go through hard times, you see how complicated people are on individual levels. Watching their falls are painful because we were there applauding their rise. The Idol's main character was its own biggest flaw because we never got to know who she really was. With less boobs and more storytelling, sprinkle in some consequences, and I think the show could have been one of the greats. And I'd say take off Jocelyn's plot armor, but we all know she'd have nothing underneath.